everybody, it's Ricardia and Rachel here from the Kabbalah Center in Berlin-Schöneberg. We are so excited. This is our first fireside chat, and we already received some questions from you, which we are going to attempt to answer today, or rather, Rachel will. So without further ado, we have a question from Paloma. And Paloma is talking about a big concept in Kabbalah, which is the concept of tikkun, or correction. And she posed this really interesting question to us. And she said, so how do I know what my tikkun is? And in terms of that, and here comes the second part, how do I know what to work on in terms of that to find and attract my soulmate? So I think that's a really big question, and I'd love to put that to you.
Thank you, Ricardia. Yeah, I think that's a really big question, right? And we all want to better understand how to attract the one, how to find that deep, fulfilling soulmate relationship. And definitely very often in our classes, we speak about this idea that to attract our soulmate, we first need to be focused on our personal connection to ourself, our connection to the light, which is the most important relationship that we have. So how do we better enhance that relationship to ourselves, to the light within us, so that we attract the one? I think the first thing to remember is that when I'm deeply focused on working on myself, on transforming myself, and therefore I'm aligned with really what the universe wants from me, I'm aligned with the voice of my soul, I begin to attract things that are fit to my soul, that really allow for my soul to therefore grow. So depending on where I am in my personal life with my spiritual growth, that's the sort of relationship that I'm going to attract. So definitely we want to really put a lot of emphasis on understanding who's the person that I want to be before inviting that other person into our life. And a great indicator to understanding what it is that we need to work on and what our tikkun is to really begin to ask ourselves, where are the main theme of challenges even in my life? Our tikkun is the thing that my soul came here and incarnated into this life to correct. It's also my purpose. So it's the area in my life that can reveal the greatest light for me, the greatest fulfillment for me. And many times that is in fact those darker things in my life. It is those challenges that when I get into them and understand why they're there and understand how to transform them, that all of the deepest fulfillment in my life lies exactly right there. So I would say to Paloma, take a moment and think about what is the theme of challenges in your life. Where does there always seem to be some sort of blockage in a process? Get into that bit, begin to understand that that is not a challenge, but that's an opportunity for you to connect to really the incredible potential of your soul. And when I begin to welcome those opportunities and really see what it is that those blockages are, I come a step closer to figuring out what my true purpose is, to figuring out where my real light exists. And therefore, I connect more to myself and attract the right person into my life.
Is there a possibility that I have several tikkuns, or is there just like one universal one and then the other sort of piggyback on that? And then based on that, do I need to fix all of this before this right person can step into my life? Because it feels like I might need a moment for that one.
Right. Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of things that we came here to do and we came here to transform. For some of us, it may be that one thing, but I'd say all of us come with maybe baggage from a previous life and also things that our soul really chose to bring into the world. So we have a lot of little tikkuns, as we like to say. And I think the emphasis here to finding our soulmate is understanding that I need to be on a path where I'm really welcoming in this tikkun process and working with the universe to better unlocking these gifts, and then I can attract the right person. It does not mean that now I'm perfected and my soulmate can then come into my life. The Kabbalists, in fact, say that when two souls come together and really are actively in a spiritual, healthy relationship, they take on a larger tikkun and they take on a bigger purpose, the two of them together. So the tikkun really expands when I meet the other half, in fact. And there are so many things that I came here to correct. And the journey of life is really to figure out what is that thing that I came here to change. And when I change one thing about myself, there's always a process of realizing there's a next level and there's something more to transform. The Kabbalists teach that that really is the purpose of our existence, to change something about ourselves, that we didn't come here to be the same person we were born into this world as. We came here to constantly grow, to constantly step out of the comfort zone. So attracting our soulmate involves a level where we are on that path of constantly looking within ourselves and welcoming that transformation. And the work actually gets harder once we meet that other person, because the universe then understands that our vessel, what we call in Kabbalah, has expanded, and therefore we can take on more and reveal more light, in fact, with another person by our side.
Great, thank you. So I think we could probably sit here with Rachel forever, but I would like to pose one more question. Maybe we have to do a follow-up on the soulmate question. But I was wondering, let's say I meet a new person, I've been doing this inner work, I've recognized my tikkun. How do I know in this new phase, everything's new and exciting, and I might, not necessarily see, am I on the right path with this person? Is he or she a reflection of my inner work? How do I know I'm not slipping into the same pattern or tikkun that I've been in? And how do I maybe recognize some of the signals? Okay, maybe I have shifted something around.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent question, and something that I get a lot. There's two things that come to mind with this, two tools that we can use. The first is in the start of a relationship, especially maybe when our emotions are heightened. Maybe we feel we really like this person. Maybe we're certain this person is not the one for us. It's to constantly ask ourselves, where is my restriction? And I won't get into a whole conversation on what restriction means in Kabbalah, but ask yourself, where in this situation can I do something to step out of my comfort zone? Many times we're chasing an energy at the start of a relationship. We want that other person to give us energy. And in that sort of relationship, we really become dependent on the other person. When I begin to use the tool to ask myself, where can I open myself up to doing something differently, I immediately align myself with my higher self, with the voice of my soul. So let's take the example that I'm really into this person. I really want them to write, but they're not writing to me. So I need their energy right now. I take out my phone. I'm ready to tell them, hey, what's up? Don't you want to see me again? The Kabbalists would say, maybe in that case, hold off a little bit. Do the opposite of what you're initially running to immediately do that isn't within your comfort zone. Restrict. Don't necessarily write to that person immediately, and see how much light unfolds in that situation. See how you're really inviting the universe to do the work for you. You're not just chasing that energy externally. And of course, the opposite applies. If right away I think, oh, I don't want this person, your restriction in that case is maybe to open yourself up and say, you know what, I don't really know if this is the right person for me or not. Let me say yes and be open to something else. And the second thing I want to speak about is this idea that, and I've said it many times before, I think many of us put a lot of pressure on ourselves to know really who is that person for us. We feel that when we meet somebody, we need to have the answer. Is this the person I should give more energy to? Is this going to be the one in my life? And I think that's a really dangerous pressure we put on ourselves, because in that moment, we think that we have to have the answer. And the truth is, we really don't. And I think it takes a lot of work to get that answer if this is the right person for us. But the tool that we can use in such a situation is to work on our partnership with the light, with the universe. Whenever you're in that stage where you don't know, or you do know with a lot of certainty that you want something, pause a moment and ask the universe to guide you. Ask the light to really show you if this is the right person for you. So even if you know what you desire and you know what you want, express that to the universe. There's nothing wrong with telling the universe what you want, but keep that partnership open. Keep that opening for the universe to guide you. So you know you want to be with this person. Have that conversation with the light, with yourself, of saying, I know I like this person. I know I want them in my life. But light, universe, higher self, whatever you want to call it, that works for you, guide me and really show me if this is the person for me. And the moment we begin to approach our relationships in this way, to understand that we don't need to have all the answers, that the universe will provide us with exactly what is necessary and right for our soul, we lift such a weight off of ourselves and really allow ourselves to be more in line with what is truly for us. And I think this is so important, especially at the start of the relationship. But of course, it's a tool to keep using throughout the relationship.
Thank you so much. Wow. I mean, I've been here for 2 years and I always hear something new when Rachel speaks. So, Paloma, I hope we answered your question. You certainly answered a lot of the questions that we often get here. We're looking forward to your responses, your comments. Absolutely send us more questions. We are very excited to have more of our fireside chats. So, bye for now.
Thank you, guys. Send us your questions.